Uh, Good afternoon, dear students, grade 7. This is Mr. Abdul with a revision video. This is going to be a very quick video, and I hope that you find it useful for your preparation for tomorrow's exam. The first topic was talking about the wireless advantage and the against the wired. So when I say wireless, I'm talking about using technologies like Wi-Fi. I'm going to change the color. So using technologies as Wi-Fi technology. And when I talk about it, this is the Wi-Fi icon. And when I talk about using the wired, I'm talking about using things like, refer to them as Ethernet technology. So both of them, they are good methods. I mean, we cannot say that one of them is better than the other, but according to the scenario, whether that you're living inside of a big house with thick walls or you're living in a simple flat with anything. So it depends on the situation that you are considering, whether that it's a school or wherever it is. So when I talk about advantages and disadvantages, we say that one of the things, for example, and I try to summarize that from the point of view of the wireless, and I would say that wireless connectivity, when I talk about advantages, I would say number one that they don't stick to one place, so you can browse internet from anywhere, from any place. This is advantage number one. I'm not gonna highlight all of the advantages and disadvantages. You have them in your sheet, so you look to this lesson or to this topic from the point of view of advantages and disadvantages. So the advantage of the wireless connectivity, that you can browse from anywhere, you can take it to your laptop to a cafe and you can browse as you want. As for the Ethernet, and I will say that we said that we're gonna use it, look to it from the point of view of the wireless. And when I say disadvantage of wireless, the wireless has too many things. Number one, the interference. Okay, we said that interference with electromagnetic interference with, we said that when you have some kind of from different sources, it could be anything. It could be an explosion, it could be an electromagnetic interference. So this is the point. You need to distinguish what is the advantages of using wireless connectivity against the disadvantages. That's the main thing that you need to focus on. The other topic was talking about mobile internet generations, and you remember that we talked about generations. I asked you to make a research about these different generations. Until this point, we have around 5 generations of mobile internet connectivities. Each one of them has their differences. Each one of them has its weaknesses. We said that in 2G there was only text and calls, nothing else. And when the 3G came in, the internet was provided with a speed of 2 megabit per second. Every generation provided new advantage and new benefit, but as this technology developed and reached this point, you will notice that it comes with different advantages and different disadvantages. And when I say 5G as an advantage, for example, I can say that the advantages that enabled us, the 5G enabled us to stream videos while you're playing video games or you're doing whatever it is, and that choice in the 3G was almost impossible. So advantages, as these generations improved, provided new capabilities and features. When it comes to the disadvantages, we know that as this technology improves, as the internet becomes faster, it means that you are able to download huge files and enable the companies to consider making large files. So the advantage number one, that you require that larger storage, means that if you right now we are using the 5G technology, you'll notice that the size of movies or the size of video games increasing. So because the speed of the internet allowing to transfer a huge files, so this is considered as a disadvantage, because when you require larger storage, it means that you're gonna pay more money. So you can look to this topic from different point of view about different generations. Each one of them has new differences, or you would say that they are improving and changing from one generation to another. And at some point, this internet, this way of communication, started to create new limitations, and also beside the good side of it. The other topic that we discussed, that the wired connection, we said that when we use wired connection, there's two of them. There's this kind of cables, we refer to them as this twisted pairs, and these twisted pairs, they are made of certain material called the copper, and the other one is the optical fiber. And the optical fiber, they are using something different. It's not copper, they are made of glass. And we said that when we discussed this topic, we said that the wired connectivity, me and you know that the wired connectivity, they have their benefits of being stable compared to the Wi-Fi, because the Wi-Fi has a lot of interferences can happen to it. But now we look to it from the point of view that comparing the optical against fiber, and you need to study well. And you'll notice that when we talked about it, we said that when it comes to twisted, they are more expensive compared to the fiber, because the copper is a rare material that need to be mined from under the ground, and these resources becoming rare as time passes, and at some point it will be depleted. And this is the idea. When I say expensive, it means that making them is going to be expensive. Me and you, when I try to buy them, is going to be expensive as well. The optical fiber also has its own benefits and has its disadvantages. So I'm gonna talk about it from 2 points of view. You'll say that if I try to mention the good side now, this is a disadvantage. And when I say what is the advantage of using the optical fiber, you'll say optical fiber. I'm not gonna say cheaper, because I told you never do that. Don't reverse the terminology. When I say expensive, you're gonna say cheap. You need to create a new criteria. So since it's using glass, we say that it's transferring using light, and due to that idea, we say that it's providing speed. We will say extra speed of internet, because the technology enabling you to use light to transfer data. So that's an advantage to optical against the twisted pair. So as I told you, this topic, try to study from this point of view of advantages and disadvantages. After that, we talked about satellite communication. We said satellite communication providing a lot of things. If I say that you are a human being that is living on this planet, and you want to watch some kind of a TV show, that TV show is going to provide it to you at your own laptop or your TV, wherever it is, after doing some kind of communication with outer space devices. We refer to them as satellite. They are always rounding around they're always rounding in the orbit of the planet Earth. And the idea is like this: if I am in this point and I am trying to watch something, and I'm using the satellite communication is provided between me and the station that is providing the TV show or whatever it is. So it's a two-way communication, and it's using the outer space instead of using it's different from the Wi-Fi technology. It's wireless, it's still wireless connectivity, but it doesn't require that to be on it's not restricted by the boundaries of our planet. So this is one of the things that you need to consider. If I told you that, what is the benefit or what is the advantage against the disadvantage of the satellite communication? With satellite communication, it will say that it provides internet or communication in isolated places. And when I say isolated places, I'm talking about providing internet in the desert or in the areas where there's no civilizations. This is an advantage. But the disadvantage, when you think about it, it's more expensive compared expensive when it comes to the calls. If you're trying to make a call using, if you're familiar with it, Thuraya, for example. Thuraya is providing communication call, phone call communication over the satellite communication, but it's expensive compared to the telephone or the cellular that we're using in our life. So that's an advantage and disadvantage. And as you know, satellite communication can be provided. This satellite can provide even communication for radio signals. There's a lot of uses. It can use to transfer. You can use the satellite communication so we can communicate with each other, even to transfer data, uh, downloading. You can use it for internet, and also the most important thing, we use it to provide the service of global positioning system (GPS) to enable us to be locating things in when we are in a trouble or when we're trying to find something that is lost from us. So that's about satellite communication. After that, we talked about this topic, the topic of the bandwidth and latency. We said that when we have an internet source and we're trying to communicate and it's providing internet, we said that the transfer or the speed, this, for example, is providing an 8 megabit per second. This is the speed of the internet. We refer to this as bandwidth. And bandwidth, as terminology, we say that it's time taking. It's the amount of data transferred per second. So the amount of data that is transferred, if I say that's going to be 4 gigabyte or whatever it is, and it's going to be transferred in 5 minutes. The amount of data transferred per time, that's the bandwidth. But when it comes to the latency, let's say that you're trying to receive a message from your friend here. Sometimes when you send a message to your friend, it will say, for example, hi. You'll notice that it will send only one tick, okay? It means that you transferred, you uploaded that data, but you cannot tell for sure that it's received by your friend unless you see another tick. When the other tick happened, it means that the data is downloaded. So that's the idea. The amount that is taking between sending and receiving data, the amount, if it's say 1 second, 2 seconds, that amount is referred to as latency. So latency is the time taking to send and receive a response between two the sides of the internet communication. So that topic was talking about these terminologies. Try to be familiar with them. The last topic was talking about internet browsers and search engines, and these are the internet browsers. We tried to refer to all of them. This is Microsoft Edge, and I told you to make some research to distinguish them. And these are actually not internet browsers, and this is the thing, we refer to them as search engines. What's the main difference between them? We say that you can open a search engine using a internet browser, but you cannot do the opposite. But usually internet browsers, they are used to browse the www. We use them to access the internet or the content of the internet. While search engines, they are used for find info over the internet. Okay, so they are some sort of a service, while this one is some sort of an application or a software. Okay, and when we use them, the internet browsers, they provide a mechanism to filter the content if you don't want to see inappropriate content, for example. Or if you want to, you can use filters to close, or you would say prevent people from a website that is, for example, making troubles or asking people or convincing people to do bad things, whatever it is. So the filters, they are systems, they embedded inside of the internet browsers, and they are used to filter inappropriate content, or if you remember, we talked about the illegal sites, etc. So that's the purpose from the filter, to prevent you from accessing harming websites. Also, we talked about the add-ons. And sometimes we refer to them as extensions. We say that extensions or add-ons, they are some sort of software that exists inside of the internet browsers. They can be used for a variety of purposes. You can use them to check the speed of the internet while you're browsing, and also beside other things. And that's it. The add-ons, they are something that is part of the internet browsers and can be providing different services. So that's it for today. I hope that you do good in tomorrow's exam, and good luck, and see you in other videos inshallah, and see you tomorrow in the exam. Take care and good night, guys.